Welcome back, everybody. So my next movie review for you is Rampage. But once again, before I get into this review, if you enjoy watching my reviews, if you could please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, that would be very, very much appreciated. So Rampage was released on the 13th of April, 2018. Its director was Brad Peyton. It was made on a budget of 140 million US dollars and made 428 million US dollars in the box office. The cast of this movie consists of Dwayne Johnson, Naomi Harris, Jake Lacey, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, plus many, many others. So, in this Rampage movie, we follow a albino gorilla who is exposed to this kind of chemical, and some other creatures or other animals in the world are exposed to this kind of chemical or kind of mutating kind of agent, and they basically have to stop it. That's pretty much all it is. They have to stop these monsters. Okay, and I'm I'm going to struggle with this movie review because I didn't actually particularly enjoy it that much. There are certain aspects of this movie that I kind of enjoyed, but there is quite a lot in here which I didn't enjoy. So, where am I honestly going to begin with this? Now, I generally like the premise of this movie. I really, really did. Okay, I like the idea of it. And the action sequences and the fight sequences between all of the monsters in here, or the, oversized gorilla, crocodile, wolf, there's a rat, I believe. I generally liked those kind of fight sequences. I really, really did between them. But that is probably the only saving grace of this movie for me. There was a lot of, why is that happening? How is that happening? Why is this happening? Why is that happening? The storyline seemed really, really off and completely off in certain places. And it just seemed to be lack of kind of, there was a lack of story there. Then there was a basic story there, and it just didn't work for me. That with some pretty bad acting as well in this movie, and some very, very off-putting comedic moments as well. Some seriously off-putting comedic moments. And it just didn't really work. Like I said, the action sequences, especially towards the end, or the fighting between the monsters here, well, I can't really call them monsters, but beasts, let me put beasts in here, I generally enjoyed, but the rest of this movie just seemed a bit, blah. And that is literally it. The only real performance I actually enjoyed in this movie is Jeffrey Dean Morgan, okay? And he is literally the best performance in this movie, in my personal opinion. I have seen Dwayne Johnson or The Rock in other movies like Welcome to the Jungle. I generally loved him in Welcome to the Jungle, but in this movie, he's just like, what? What is that? It's like some really bad, forced comedic moment and some really corny, cheesy kind of moments in this movie, and it just was really, really off-putting because the actual general idea of this movie I generally really enjoyed. And that with the villains in here, they're going to be one of the worst villains ever. They had the potential to be really, really evil, and then they just got rid of them. Just like this. I was just like, what? Okay, what is this? Is this a comedic movie? Is it a comedy movie? Or is this going to be a serious action movie? And this is the feel I got from it. It just didn't really know what this was. Okay, this movie didn't know exactly what it wanted to be. It didn't know whether it was going to be a comedic action movie or an action movie. And like I said, I generally enjoyed the end fight sequences in here. I really got behind it, and I really enjoyed it. But the performance from The Rock in here, and even Naomi Harris in here, she wasn't that convincing, and I generally liked her. I generally like her as an actor. It just didn't work in any way, shape, or form. And then we're going into like kind of the what and whys. There is a scene in this movie where they basically shoot down a plane, and this plane is hurtling towards ground, and yet Naomi Harris can put on a parachute with ease, with no problems. Like she's done it 1,000 times before. And it's like, why is this happening? Why is that happening? Why is this happening? That would not happen in any way, shape, or form. No matter how you can do it, it just didn't work. There was kind of this lack of realism. Now, yeah, I admit this is about some monsters that get given this kind of serum that make them bigger and stronger and enhanced and all that kind of stuff. So the realism in here it's a balance. Let me put it like this, between some scenes in that movie, the fact that there are some overgrown kind of animals in there is more realistic than some of the other bits in this movie. In other words, falling from a plane which has been quite badly damaged, easily putting on a parachute, and all sorts of different other unrealistic things in here. If you're going to try and do a movie like this, at least try and make the bits in here, or certain bits in here, a little bit more realistic, and don't put them in there just for entertainment value. I'd rather see an effort to realism in a movie than nothing, and this is what this movie gave to me. So if I was to give this a rating, I would give this a 4 out of 10. And the only reason why I'm giving this a 4 out of 10 is because I generally like the action sequences. The CGI in it is heavily reliant on CGI, this movie, but there was some attention to detail. It was a little bit shoddy in certain places, but honestly, for CGI, knowing that I'm not a huge fan of CGI, I actually kind of liked what they did. There was detail, I kind of enjoyed it. I did. Performances wise, some serious misuse of comedy is also the other reasons why I'm going to mark this down. It's as simple as that. I wanted to like this movie, I really did, but I couldn't. Okay, I just couldn't. There was so much going on in this movie. There was a lack of story, with some with some poor performances as well. I can't give it any more than a 4 out of 10, and I'm just giving you my honest personal opinion. So on that note, please tell me what you think. Put it in the comments down below as normal. I hope you all have a great rest of the day, whatever you're doing. Please take care, and goodbye.